Hi, this is Jim McCullen, author of Control Your Day. I'm going to take you through the step-by-step guide for Chapter 4, Configure Outlook for CYD, in this brief video. What we're going to do is we're going to first set up your default view for Microsoft Outlook so that you have the right columns in place for CYD. We're then going to create your CYD Due Today and Today's Focus folder. And finally, we'll create your Inbox Pro folder where you store all your messages once they're completed. So let's go ahead and get started. So this is your default compact view in Microsoft Outlook, and we're going to go ahead and add a couple of columns to that. So if you click the View tab, you can then go into Change View, and you can see Compact is my default. If you have a different default, you can edit that one, or you can choose Compact at this point. And we'll go to Manage Views, and Compact again, and Modify. So what we want to do first is add some columns. So let's click on the Columns button, and we can go down and pick the Due Date, which is the critical field for CYD, because as messages come in, we've got a rule set up that will flag each message for follow-up today with a due date of today. So we'll go ahead and add due date, and then we're going to move that up above from so that it's right up on the left-hand side. And then we'll find contacts, and we use the contacts field for our next action, to record our next action. All of this is explained in the Control Your Day book. If you haven't picked that up at Amazon yet, I definitely recommend you do before attempting these videos. So we'll go ahead and click Contacts and move that in, and we're going to go ahead and move Contacts down below Subject, and then move Categories up below Contacts. So that's the structure that we want for our CYD folders going forward. So we'll go ahead and click OK. We need to do one other thing in this screen, and that's format the columns. And we're going to rename our Contacts field. We're going to call it Next Action. So this way, whenever we see that field, it's going to show Next Action. We'll say OK. And you want to make sure you say Apply View. And we're going to do one last piece. We want to apply this view to our entire mailbox so that anytime we create a new folder, it has these columns in it. So we're going to go ahead and say Apply Current View. And we want to make sure your mailbox is checked and that you apply it to subfolders as well. And click OK. And so now you can see our default view has the due date, the next action, and the categories field. So let's go ahead and create our first CYD virtual search folder. So right-click on your search folder and click New Folders. Come down to the bottom and create a custom search folder. Click the Choose button and put your name in. We're going to call this CYD. Pick your criteria. And in here, the only criteria that we need is under More Choices, and we're going to say only items which are flagged by me. So as all these messages are coming in, they're getting flagged by you for follow-up today automatically with the CYD rule. And any messages you send that you want to keep track of, you will flag for follow-up. So click OK. Then we need to change what folders it's going to look for those messages in. We don't want it to look in your deleted folder, your junk mail folder. So uncheck your My Email and choose Inbox and Sent, and make sure your Search Subfolders box is checked as well. Click OK, OK, and OK again. We now have our CYD folder created, and we put the exclamation point in front just so it sorts to the top. If you see here, I've got a bunch of just sample messages that I've received that are now in my CYD folder because they've been set with a follow-up flag. So the next one we're going to create is our Due Today folder. Very similar, except we're only going to include in this one messages that are due today. They've either come in today or they're due today, they were received previously and you had set them with a due date of today. And the purpose of this folder is really to allow you to take some time and look at what's coming in at you today and manage that piece of your workload. So if you've got a really big backload in your CYD folder, you can use your Due Today folder to get a better handle on things. So I'm going to go ahead and create another new search folder. I'm going to come down and create a custom search folder. Click Choose, and I'm going to call this one Due Today. Sorry about that. And I'll go to Criteria, More Choices. Again, I want to see any messages that are flagged by me. But I want to click on Advanced and go one step further. I want to say where the due date, and you can use your mail fields and choose due date, is today. So I only want to see messages that are due today. Click OK, Do you want to add it to your criteria? Yes. And then again, we have to go through the browse. Same exact thing. You're going to do this on every search folder that you create. And one of these days, I will create a script to automatically create these search folders. So keep an eye out for that on my site. So I'm going to uncheck my email, check my inbox and sent, make sure my subfolders is checked, and click OK, OK, and OK again. So here's my due today folder. So I had these two messages with a due date of today. So you can see they're in that folder. Now there's one more piece to the due today folder. We want to also show the entire message thread so that if you're looking at that message, you can see if there's other related messages in your inbox that maybe you want to delete and clean out, or messages that you've sent that you want to make sure you clear the follow-up flag on because you've gotten a response back. So to do that, you again click on your View tab and click the date to arrange by date, and click Show in Conversations. And you just want to do it for this folder. And so now what that's done is it's gone and searched your other folders for any other related messages. So you can see this little arrow here. It shows me there's other messages related to that. So I had sent another message on this date. There is no follow-up flag. It's in my sent folder. So I can leave it there. It doesn't really matter. But if there were a follow-up flag on that, I'd want to clear that one out because both of those messages are appearing in my CYD folder. The last piece we want to do here is you can see it's sorted by date or grouped by date. We don't really need that because this is only going to be items that are due today. So if you go back to your view settings here and click on group by, you can uncheck this box automatically group by arrangement and click OK and OK again. So now you're just seeing a list of everything that's in that folder without any grouping. You don't really need it for this particular folder. So let's create one more. The final folder we want to create in these search folders is our today's focus folder. And what this is just a folder where you can go in and set up a category called today's focus and assign anything you want to it, and that's going to be in this folder. So if you're trying to the night before kind of plan out what you want to do tomorrow, today's focus is a great way to accomplish that. So we'll go ahead and create a custom folder again. We're going to call this one today's focus. Sorry guys. And go to the criteria. And so on this one, again, only items which are flagged by me. We're going to take it one step further. We're going to click the Categories button, and we're going to go create it. And this is a clean install of Outlook right now. We're going to create a new category, and we're going to call this with a exclamation point, today's focus. Sorry, rename that. Today's focus. Okay, and we don't want to use colors. I mentioned that in the book. They just take up more space in your view, so unless you really want to highlight something, I wouldn't use the colors. It just creates a lot of noise as well. So now I want to check today's focus, say OK, and I can see anything that's flagged by me with today's focus. Again, I'm going to search the same exact folders, my inbox, my sent box, check my search subfolders, click OK and OK. So there's one message out there that I've categorized as today's focus, and so that appears in this message. And if I'm done with making it today's focus, I can go clear my category and it'll remove it out of that folder. So those are your three really working folders for CYD. Your CYD has everything in it from your inbox and sent folder that has a follow-up flag. Your due today is everything that's due today, including all the conversations messages related to that. And your today's focus is anything that you've flagged with a focus for today. And obviously, if you don't accomplish those, they'll appear in tomorrow's focus as well. So that's really a kind of working box. So the last piece that we want to do is create a new folder in this Chapter 4 setup under our inbox. So we're going to click on our inbox, say New Folder, and we're going to call this Inbox Pro. And it's a mail and post items, and we're going to say OK. So now we have our Inbox Pro. This is going to get used later to move all of your messages. So once a message is completed that's been sitting in your inbox, there's a macro that I've provided in the book and in a later chapter that does the move for you, moves the messages once the follow-up flag is cleared to the Inbox Pro. So throughout your year, all of your completed messages are stored in this one folder. And at the end of the year, all you need to do is rename this to the current or previous year's name, Inbox Pro 2012 or 2013, and then start a new Inbox Pro for the next year. So it's nice and easy to archive all your messages. So at the end, all you end up with is Messages in your Inbox Pro and messages in your sent items. The only other ones you might have is if you're diverting some messages around Control Your Day, like newsletters or server alerts or other things that you don't want clouding your CYD. Those messages you can move out to an external folder and just exclude it from the browsers so you don't see it. So that's it. We've got your main folders all set up and ready to go, and you can watch some of the other videos to go through the other chapters. And definitely, if you haven't picked up the book, I definitely recommend picking up a copy of the book to fully explain everything that's going on with Control Your Day. Thank you.